Welcome to Star Bios, the podcast where we delve into the fascinating lives of entertainment's most iconic figures. I'm your host, Casey Gold, and today we're shining the spotlight on the incomparable Edith Piaf, the French singer-songwriter whose soulful voice and captivating stage presence have left an indelible mark on the world of music. Born on December 19, 1915, in the Belleville neighborhood of Paris, France, Edith Piaf's early life was marked by poverty, hardship, and a deep love for music. Her mother, Annette Maillard, was a street performer and a singer, who would often take Edith with her to the streets of Paris, where she would sing and dance to earn money. Edith's father, Louis Alphonse Gassion, was a circus acrobat who abandoned the family when Edith was just a toddler. As a young child, Edith suffered from poor health, including blindness and meningitis, which left her with permanent damage to her eyesight. Despite these challenges, Edith's love for music only grew stronger, and she would often listen to her mother sing and play the accordion. The family's small apartment in Belleville was filled with the sounds of traditional French folk songs, American jazz, and blues music, which would later influence Edith's unique vocal style. Edith's early education took place at a local Catholic school, where she was taught by nuns who encouraged her love for music and singing. However, Edith's time at school was short-lived, as she was forced to drop out at the age of 12 to care for her mother, who had fallen ill. It was during this period that Edith began to develop her skills as a singer, listening to recordings of famous singers like Josephine Baker and Miss Stingwit, and practicing her own singing in front of the mirror. The historical context of Edith's early years was marked by great social and economic upheaval in France. The aftermath of World War I had left the country reeling, with widespread poverty and unemployment affecting many families, including Edith's own. However, this period also saw a resurgence of artistic and cultural expression in Paris, with the rise of jazz, cabarets, and other forms of popular entertainment that would eventually shape Edith's career. As Edith grew older, she began to perform on the streets and in local cafes, singing traditional French folk songs and American jazz standards. Her unique vocal style, which was characterized by its expressive, emotive quality and distinctive phrasing, quickly gained her a following among the locals. In 1930, at the age of 15, Edith moved to Paris with her father, who had returned from his military service. They settled in the Pigalle district, a hub for artists, musicians, and performers, where Edith began to build a reputation as a talented young singer. Edith's early influences were diverse and eclectic, ranging from traditional French folk songs to American jazz and blues music. She was particularly drawn to the music of African-American singers like Bessie Smith and Ethel Waters, whose powerful voices and emotional delivery inspired her own singing style. Edith's love for music was not limited to singing. She also played the accordion and the guitar, which she would often accompany herself with during performances. The historical context of her time, including the rise of fascism in Europe and the tumultuous 1930s in France, would later influence her music and inform her commitment to social justice. With her unique voice, style, and perspective, Edith Piaf was poised to take the world by storm. As Edith's reputation grew in the Pigalle district, she began to attract attention from local club owners and promoters. In 1935, at the age of 20, she was discovered by Louis Leplay, a nightclub owner who would become her mentor and manager. Leplay was instrumental in helping Edith develop her stage presence and unique vocal style, which he showcased at his club, Gurney's. It was here that Edith's career began to take off, with performances that wowed audiences and critics alike. One of Edith's earliest breakthroughs came in 1936, when she recorded her first single, Le Moment de la Cloche, for the Polydor label. Although the record didn't achieve immediate success, it marked the beginning of a long and fruitful partnership with Polydor, which would go on to release many of her most iconic recordings. Edith's early songs, such as Jouis Mordu and Mon Légionnaire, showcased her unique blend of French folk, jazz, and pop influences, which resonated deeply with audiences. As Edith's popularity grew, she began to perform at more prestigious venues, including the legendary Moulin Rouge. Her performances were met with rave reviews, with critics praising her expressive voice, captivating stage presence, and emotional intensity. In 1937, Edith made her film debut in La Garçon, a French drama directed by Jean de Limoux. Although the film was not a major success, it marked an important milestone in Edith's career as she began to explore the possibilities of acting and filmmaking. The late 1930s were a tumultuous time for France, with the rise of fascism and the looming threat of war. Edith's music became a source of comfort and inspiration for many, offering a message of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. Her song Mon Légionnaire, released in 1937, became an anthem for the French people, with its themes of love, loss, and longing striking a chord with audiences. As Edith's fame grew, she began to collaborate with other notable artists of the time, including the composer and pianist Norbert Glansberg. Together, they created some of Edith's most iconic songs, such as Le Fainéant de la Légion and C'est un mauvais garçon. These collaborations not only showcased Edith's vocal talents, but also her ability to interpret and bring to life the work of other writers and composers. In 1940, Edith's career was put on hold when Germany invaded France. During the occupation, Edith continued to perform, albeit in secret, using her music as a form of resistance against the Nazi regime. Her songs, such as Où sont-ils, Pontis, Mes petits jupons, and C'était un jour de fête, became anthems for the French resistance, offering a message of hope and defiance in the face of oppression. With her unique voice, style, and perspective, Edith Piaf had become a beloved and enduring figure in French popular culture. In the aftermath of World War II, Edith's career experienced a resurgence as she began to perform in liberated Paris. Her music became a symbol of hope and resilience for the French people, and she quickly gained recognition as one of the most talented and beloved singers of her generation. In 1946, Edith made her first trip to the United States, where she performed at the prestigious Carnegie Hall in New York City. The concert was a massive success, with critics praising her emotional intensity, captivating stage presence, and unique vocal style. Edith's international breakthrough came in 1947, when she recorded La Vie en Rose, a song that would become one of her signature tunes. Written by Louis Guy and Edith Piaf herself, the song's lyrics spoke to the joys and sorrows of life, love, and loss, resonating deeply with audiences around the world. The song's success was unprecedented, topping the charts in France, the United States, and other countries, and cementing Edith's status as a global superstar. As Edith's fame grew, she began to collaborate with other notable artists of the time, including the composer and pianist Charles Dumont. Together, they created some of Edith's most iconic songs, such as Hymne à l'amour and Milord. These collaborations not only showcased Edith's vocal talents, but also her ability to interpret and bring to life the work of other writers and composers. In the 1950s, Edith's career continued to soar, with performances at some of the world's most prestigious venues, including the Olympia in Paris and the Royal Albert Hall in London. Her music became a staple of French popular culture, with songs like Padam, Padam, and Sous le ciel de Paris becoming beloved classics. Edith's unique voice and style also inspired a new generation of artists, including the likes of Yves Montand, Juliette Gréco, and Serge Gainsbourg. Despite struggling with personal demons and health issues, Edith continued to perform and record music until her untimely death in 1963. Her legacy, however, has endured, with her music remaining a timeless and universal language capable of evoking emotions and inspiring generations of artists and fans around the world. As the French poet and writer Jean Cocteau once said, "Edith Piaf is not just a singer, she's a force of nature, a tornado that sweeps you up and carries you away." With her unique voice, style, and perspective, Edith Piaf had become a beloved and enduring figure in French popular culture, leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate audiences around the world. That's all for today's Star Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Casey Gold, reminding you to keep shooting for the stars.